On to the Saints, 7-9 the last 3 seasons. Their win total is 8. Last year, 7-9 straight up, 11-5 8. This was under the radar big time. 11-5 ATS, second best only to Patriots. 9-7 to the over, which was 7-9 in 2015. But 1 winning season since the last division title when they were 13-3 in 2011. The defense has been god-awful the last few years. But look at this, 3-7 last year. In games decided by less than a touchdown, they were awesome ATS. And look at the record. ATS is a dog, Teddy.
Well, yeah, I mean, they were 6-0 against the spread as a dog of +3 or higher. They were 7-1 against the spread on the highway. So much for the Superdome, and you can't bet the Saints on the road. You know, you want the Saints against teams they can blow out. You don't want to bet on them against class. All of that, dead wrong last year. And when you're talking about a team that went 7-9 for the 4th time in the last 5 years, and 7 of those 9 losses, not decided by a touchdown or less, they were decided by less than a touchdown, which means 1 more stop or 1 more score, and they could have won every single one of those games. It was a frustrating season for the Saints. It was not a frustrating season for the Saints backers, as you mentioned, under the radar point spread success story.
Mainstream stats, turnovers -3, 21 takeaways, below average, 24 giveaways, above average. Offense, 6.2 yards per play, 3rd in the NFL, 4.3 yards per rush, that's average, 7.8 yards per pass, 5th in the league, and 27 sacks allowed, 6th best despite a league high 472 pass attempts. The defense, garbage, 98.1 QB rating allowed, bottom 5 in the league, 27th with only 30 sacks and 4.1 yards per rush allowed, league average. They have a lot of needs. They need to fix the defense. Now, the news that came down last week, Fairley has a heart condition, could be career-ending, but they had to fix and address this defense. Teddy, what do you think about some of the moves they made? Now, they made some moves on offense, too. They get Ginn from the Panthers, and the big one, they grab Adrian Peterson.
Let's start with taking a look at the stats from last year, all right? The turnovers. They were -3s. They were slightly above average in giveaways and slightly below average in takeaways. Nothing significant there. You don't expect a turnaround or a drop-off off the -3s. All right, the same place. You have the offense. That was number 3 in the NFL in yards per play and number 5 in the NFL in yards per pass and a decent rushing team. You know, they didn't allow sacks. The offense, better than average. Pretty darn good offense. The defense, well, they were okay against the rush, but it's the same story with this squad. They have not been able to stop the pass. The 98.1 QB rating allowed, bottom 5 in the NFL again. So then you say, all right, well, you just lost your monster in the middle potentially in Nick Fairley. Let's see, your number 1 corner in Delvin Breaux is coming off a season in which he missed 10 games because of leg and shoulder injuries. Sean Payton going into the draft, quote, we've got to find a pass rusher. And they didn't find one in the draft. They didn't sign one in free agency. So for all the, ooh, we got Adrian Peterson. Ooh, we got Ted Ginn Jr., you know, they still have a lot of issues on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, they do. They also lost Cooks to the Patriots. Bird left as well, and Hightower. I don't know why they signed Te'o, 26 years old. They also get Chase Daniel to back up Brees.
Well, let me jump in there real quick because Te'o, in my mind, is a great signing. They didn't pay him a lot of money. He's had a bad injury history. This is a first-round pick. He's only 26. And for a team that needs help anywhere they can get it on defense, to bring in a guy like Manti Te'o. And A.J. Klein was another big sign. You know, they got him from the divisional rival Panthers. He's 25 years old. He's coming into his prime. Their linebacking core will be better. Well, the question is, what else going to be better? And as for Jarius Byrd leaving, you know, any Saints fan will tell you they're glad. You know, hey, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out of town. He made a lot of money from New Orleans and did not contribute very much.
Took Lattimore, first-round quarterback at Ohio State. Also the tackle for Wisconsin. They took Williams as safety out of Utah in the 2nd round as well. You know, all the questions about Brady. When will he slow down? Same thing with Brees, 38 years old. Number 1 last year in completions, attempts, and yards. 70% completion rate was number 2. Top 5 in QB rating again, been in the top 8 every year since 2011. What do you have on the division?
Well, I mean, they shored up the offensive line. They signed AP. There's no reason to think, other than just because he's getting older, that Drew Brees is going to fall off a cliff this season. And again, when you talk about signing Ramczyk from the first-rounder at pick number 32 for the tackle out of Wisconsin. I mean, this team had 6 picks in the first 3 rounds. They did get, the pass rusher Trey Hendrickson out of Florida Atlantic at the end of the 3rd round. Maybe he provides something for them. But they had a lot of draft capital. I thought they used it fairly effectively, although the pick of Kamara at the running back, the first pick of the 3rd round, was a head-scratcher for me. When we talk about the strength of schedule, last year was the toughest in division and the 6th toughest in the NFL. This year, it's right around the league average based on this year's season win total. So not particularly tough, not particularly easy. The NFC South plays the AFC East and the NFC North. There are 2 extra games at home to the Redskins and at the LA Rams. Those games work in their favor. But when you look at the schedule over the course of the season, they have a real tough start. Look at the first 3 weeks at Minnesota, the Patriots, then at Carolina. That's not easy. But the big strength, the whole schedule comes down to what happens in December. 4 of their last 5 games against divisional rivals. If they do well in December, they could easily win this division.
Hey guys, for the full video, go to sbrpicks.com.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.